snap.
Let it settle in. Let all the bits and the bytes get to wherever they got to get to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
As the resident tech on the set here, I just gotta let you know that I do actually understand how bits and bytes work.
Oh,
but
good.
I am going to feign that I do not, for the good of all of us, really.
For the good of all of us.
For all mankind. Welcome back to this Thursday's Once Revealed Variety Hour. I am one half of your host this week. I am Vern Smith. I almost forgot my name there.
And I'm the other half. I guess you could say that I'm your other half tonight.
He's my other half. He is.
Yes.
He is. When we fusion together, we did a little fucking dance like Dragon Ball Z, and we fusion together. We actually make one stunning dude with a dad bod still. It's,
True story.
It is what it is.
A stunning dad bod.
He says that's a stunning dad. It's like Chris Pratt at the height of Parks and Rec. Stunning dad bod, really.
Stunning dad bod. Oh my god. Oh, where the hell is this? I gotta share it. No, don't welcome me to inbox.
That'd be smart. Get it out there. Tell cyberspace about what's going on. I don't have my laptop out or anything. I'm like half prepared. That's what happened tonight. Wow. I got everything done on this side, the side that mattered to get us live, and then I forgot about all the stuff that makes my life easier. So, just like every other part of my life.
Oh my god.
Did you get it? Did you figure it out?
No, not yet, because I'm stupid.
I believe in you. It's fine. It's cool. So I'm having some Twisted Tea tonight. What are you drinking? Nate, you said you had some cool shit. Let's talk about it.
I do. I've got Highland Park Scotch, 12 years old, Viking Honor.
My man's got Viking Honor. Did you hear that?
Viking Honor.
He's got the Viking Honor. On a Thursday, which we were talking about before we went live. And this is a fun fact. Fun fact on a Thursday. Thursday is actually, it finds its etymology in Thor's Day, which was a Germanic word coming from Donnerstag, meaning thunder, which eventually became Thor, which eventually became Thursday. Right? So, every Thursday, for whatever reason, we're doing the Once Revealed Variety Hour. So, thanks, Thor. Thanks for looking out.
Thank you, Thor. Thank you, Thor.
Thank you for your almighty hammer.
Thank you for killing Thanos. I appreciate.
And high five on that killer dad bod. There it is. Boom. We made it back around.
Boom. Brought it back.
Yeah, so your drink is way classier than mine. I'm the equivalent of a fucking street bum drinking a fucking beer, a 40 in a fucking wrapper of paper bag. Classy as shit over here. It could have only been worse if you were drinking champagne and I literally had a 40 in a paper bag.
Oh god.
Terrible. Oh man.
What if I got a paper bag for my glass? Just like
paper bag for your glass? What does your glass say on it? What is that classy looking thing?
Oh. It says Nathan on it.
It says Nathan.
Yeah. This is a gift from Will's wedding, actually.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was one of his groomsmen, so he got all the groomsmen glasses. It's got his wedding date on it and stuff. It's real nice.
Will's a real champ. That's a real nice gift.
Mm-hmm.
That's real fancy.
Engraved and stuff.
I'm customized the fuck out right now. That's actually really cool. He's impressed me.
Yeah.
Do you think he'd marry me? Do you think?
I mean, if it was legal, I don't think he'd be against it.
Do you think our wedding would have this kind of glasses?
What you'd have is a personally engraved 40 bottle.
40 bottles.
Yeah.
To fit the veteran aesthetic for all the attendees, right?
Yeah, but it would have a really nice engraving in it.
A really nice engraving. Yeah, it'll say thank you for your service with no specification of who it's for.
Jesus.
Is it dark or is it true? Is it both?
Maybe it is both. Yes.
We went from fun facts to sad truths.
Oh God. Yeah, it doesn't always take very long, does it? That is what she said.
Oh man, that might be the title. Fun facts and sad truths. That's really it's pretty good actually.
That's pretty good, yeah.
5 minutes in. It's always 5 minutes in. We hit about 5.5 minutes in, and we always find a title.
It's like an initial burst of creative energy, and then it kind of tapers off throughout the rest of it.
It's what happens when we show up to rehearse too. We get about 5 minutes of actual work done, then we fuck off for 10.
Yeah, that definitely
But some
happens.
beautiful things have come out of those 5, you know?
Oh yeah, now we have this whole story of Armano and Elmano.
Armano and Elmano, dude. And the chase to find the sound. And sound particles.
Dude. The chase to find the sound part. I mean, we could sponsor our own comic book series.
We should do it, actually. That's not that hard. We could find an artist that'll do it, and we just, we could do a webcomic even.
Bro.
We could do voices for it, because we have a recording studio where we can record voices.
It's true. And we don't even need a whole studio. We could use
we can do it here. we have this. This is fine.
We could be sitting there with our drinks, be like, I don't know, what would an El Mano sound like?
I don't know. I was thinking either
like
spaghetti western, like Mexican, like they obviously hired an Italian guy to play this. Like I want that. Or alternatively, really, really French. El mano. Oui, oui.
Mano. Polefrito.
Right. Yeah, the spaghetti western thing, man. I grew up like watching those.
Really?
Yeah, my stepdad watched the hell out of them. For years. Yeah.
I don't know how many spaghetti westerns I've seen, but I watched a lot of Clint Eastwood westerns. That was my thing.
Those are close enough, and some of them were spaghetti for sure. Yeah.
What's that?
Some of them definitely were spaghetti western as fuck too. Yeah. Yeah, Clint didn't escape that for sure. I don't think anybody did. I think anybody that did that like 6-shooter character at the time had to do one of those fucking movies at some point.
Yeah. We probably didn't have any other options. Didn't have enough actors for it.
Typecasting, man. Typecasting's a thing today. It was surely bad back then. And back then it was just racist as fuck.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, and don't call me Shirley.
Sure. That's a good movie too. Airplane? I haven't seen that in a long time.
It's so silly.
I just saw it was in a video somewhere. They had the movie poster for Airplane in the background of it. Man, I remember back watching that when I was like a kid. Like 11 years old or something, being shown that. Like, this is a really good movie, you have to see this. Like,
yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah. I feel like it's like a story for our generation, weirdly enough. They were like, hey, let me break out the VHSs, check this shit out.
Guys, this movie is so funny. You gotta check out this movie. It's so funny.
I got shown so much stuff though, like that. Like one of the other ones was the original Transformers movie, like the cartoon one from the 1980s. Like 1980 fucking 2 or 83 or some shit. That movie, I don't think I would have seen if not for one of my like cousins. I don't actually think we were cousins now that I'm thinking about it, but we called him our cousins. But he was showing me like all these crazy fucking movies from the 80s, and that was one of them. He was like, dude, check this out. He was like, this is a Transformers movie. I know you have little Transformers action figures. This is a Transformers movie. And I was like, what? They have one of those? And it was the fucking coolest shit ever. If you've never seen that, go watch it.
I will watch that. Yeah. I'm gonna write that down. Transformers.
Cool Transformers from the 80s. Yeah, dude, it's awesome as shit. Actually, when they started making the live action ones, they pulled a bunch of little plot points from that movie for all of the live action movies. Like, there's tiny little plot points of like characters that die and stuff that happens, and like the fucking dinosaurs, and fucking all this shit that happens in the fucking movies. It's all in that 1980s one. It's cool as fuck.
Yeah, I was literally about to ask about the existence of these live-action movies, and I was like, oh yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, dude.
Duh.
Shia LaBeouf. He'll find you in the woods. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
You know, I've never seen basically anything by that guy besides Transformers.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything else with Shia LaBeouf.
cultural icon for our generation, man. I mean, truly.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of stuff. He kind of grew up at the same age as... He's like 27, I think. 28. He's like right around our age, yeah. He was like in stuff when we were the same age as him. It's fucking weird.
Like, I know he was a Nickelodeon kid, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Disney. I think Disney. He might have been a Disney kid. Yeah, might have been Disney.
Yeah,
kid.
Disney.
But and he was like a good actor as a kid too, which is crazy. Like, how often does that happen? Even Stevens and shit, right? Wasn't that he was Even Stevens, right, on Disney?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never watched that because I didn't have cable, so I never got any of those channels.
That's right. I forgot. I'm sorry. I don't mean to bring that up.
I know. It's just
I didn't have. I couldn't rot my brain with modern television. You just don't get all the weird inside jokes and references that I make. That's all.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
There's a lot of those that you're the only one that's like. Actually, Scott doesn't get them either. There's a lot of my shit's like really niche, strange shit that he probably wouldn't have seen.
True.
I mean, what was this? Scott told us the story last week on the podcast. He said that his dad used to tape over the sections on the videos that were
that had boobs.
Yeah, that had like the boobs in the video. Like so, it's like I imagine a lot of the references I make probably are going over his head too, because I reference some weird shit.
Yeah. True story.
Yeah.
I remember one time, I was in high school, I think, and my dad remembered this one movie that he watched back in like the 70s.
Yeah.
It was called Heavy Metal.
Okay. Oh, I remember that. I saw that. My stepdad showed me that when I was like, oh god, probably way too young to watch it.
Yeah, I know. That was my thought. I was like, we got halfway, like part of the way in, and it wasn't very long before there was a bunch of boobs everywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of weird, dude. And it just kept going. And he was like, yeah, there's a lot more nudity than I remembered in this. You know, back in the 70s, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yep.
You know, and we're sitting there,
me
and my brother, both
different.
of us.
Yeah, he did the same thing. Yeah, my stepdad showed me it, and then when we were done, he was like, that was a little more intense than I thought it would be. I was like, cool.
That's a lot of stuff I wasn't supposed to see.
And then we sat down, and if I remember correctly, this is the same day that he built a Lego submarine. The dude could like build Legos like from freehand, like you could like build a thing like freehand. Yeah, he sat down and built a submarine. Like I had so many Legos growing up because my grandmother worked at like Kmart. I've explained this before, I think, but she worked at a Kmart, so she had a lot of layaway items and like opened items and stuff that would come back, and they would just be like, well, we can't resell this, it's gonna go in the trash. So she would just fucking take it, just bring it home. And there was no pandemics in the 90s, and we didn't care about any of that, so those fucking Legos were coming home with me whether or not they were complete or not. So
yeah.
And I was using those same toys like 10 years later. So my stepdad eventually would get a hold of those while he was watching me, and he would build like little Lego toys for me to play with occasionally. And one of them I remember specifically was the submarine, the day that he showed me Heavy Metal. So obviously a traumatizing experience.
Yeah, it still sticks out in your memory.
It's stuck. Yeah, it's stuck for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird moment
right? Like...
Yeah. So that's another thing that we share an experience of.
Yeah, weird heavy metal thing. There it is, man. That might be that's the algorithm right there. We solved it. It's like we're done. Wrap it up. We found the thing.
It's like we were going fine. We probably would have gone in different directions. That day happened, and we were like, yeah. Oh, hey, we met.
Amazing. We should ask Scott and Will. We should ask them, like, watch, Scott's going to have the same thing. He's going to be like, yeah, my dad, weirdly enough, one day he sat me down, and he was like, we're going to watch this. And it was Heavy Metal. You guys ever seen that? I'd be like, Will would do the same thing. He's like, yeah, it was actually my mom. Out of nowhere.
Oh god.
Shit.
That's like the Ace Ventura thing.
Yeah, I still think that has something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Ace Ventura's got to have something to do with it. There's a reason you and Scott get along too, right? Like Will didn't have that thing. He didn't have the formative experience with it. Apparently, he didn't. I don't think he did. I think he was the one that said no. He liked it. He was like, but it wasn't like a thing.
Yeah.
Like I watched it religiously at one point.
Yeah, I remember like I didn't watch it that much, but I remember thinking it was just the funniest thing ever.
That's what I mean, it was just like the best fucking invention, best creation ever made. Like,
Yeah,
they
the
can't
best
make a
thing of
better
its
movie. Like,
can't make a better thing of that
yeah.
type of movie. They can't improve on that.
I feel like that's the next one's gonna get like a reboot, right?
What? Ace Ventura?
Ace Ventura.
Mm,
I could see an Ace
I'd watch
Ventura reboot.
I would watch it.
I'd watch it too. Yeah.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
I'd watch the shit out of that.
In the era of reboots, give me an Ace Ventura reboot. That's fine.
Yeah, I'd take it.
That's fine. If there's an algorithm out there, some AI that's listening to every podcast in the universe to try and figure out what everybody wants,
Yeah,
make that shit. Make it happen.
make it happen. Make it happen, producer people.
Make
FBI,
it happen,
you listen
producer
up?
bot. Producer bot 9000. Stationed
Yeah.
somewhere in LA.
They're like, yeah, we got one. Okay, yeah,
Yep,
Ace Ventura.
we found one
got
that
it.
wants Ace Ventura as a reboot. Put that one in the pipeline.
It's like glowing green.
We've waited years.
I've been waiting for years for this one. Ugh.
Dude's in lab coats standing around it with like those fucking mirrored glasses on, watching as he puts it in.
Oh, and they're playing that. They're playing that music that they play for Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII.
Sephiroth. We get DMCA'd.
Yeah, for our little tunes. By the way, this is Khaleesi.
Oh, hello,
Hello,
Khaleesi.
world.
Hello, kitty kitty. What you up to?
Huh?
I said,
she's-
I said, what you up to?
Well, apparently she's up to hanging out with the Variety Hour.
Yeah, part of the variety is cats. There's a variety of cats every week.
There is a variety. There's a different one each time. This one's her full name. She was the Empress, but I changed her name to Oracle because
Okay.
I thought that was more appropriate because she's
Alright.
mostly blonde, and she doesn't act like an Empress. So she's now the Oracle Khaleesi Java Bean Kalas Bidzinski.
Java bean. She does look like a Java bean.
Well, yeah, if you see her paws,
They look like little beans, don't they? Oh,
it's Java beans.
adorable.
Yeah,
She
sorry,
got little beans.
selling you out here. Gonna sell like it'll be like the competitor, the off-brand to Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
I mean, Hello Cat.
Hello, cat. What's up, cat?
What's up, Cat?
What's
It'll
up,
be
Cat?
Hello Street Cat, and the cat.
What up,
will be
street
wearing
cat?
Happy Bean.
What up, street cat? What up, street
Yeah.
cat? And it's just the cat wearing a beanie. Like, what's up, man?
Dude, I have a picture of one of my cats wearing a beanie.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Does it look like a hipster?
definitely-
Every cat wearing a beanie looks like a fucking hipster for some reason.
Oh yeah. Well, this one does. It's Chief, and he's wearing a white beanie. He's a black
I
cat
don't know
wearing a
what
white
that
beanie.
It's weird, right? Every cat.
Yeah. Yeah. They just make great hipsters. I
They
mean,
do.
they're the hipster animal.
They do. Dogs do too, though. They do the same thing. Put a beanie anywhere near a dog. That dog's a hipster.
I think beanies are just hipster at that point.
I don't. Do you think so?
Well, it depends on the beanie. If it's one of those big, like floopy ones, they're designed to hold dreadlocks. Like those are definitely. You're trying to be a hipster at that point, or
All right. I see what
or
you're.
you're like one of those like Target moms.
Yeah.
It's one of the.
Unless it's orange, and then you're a hunter, right?
There's that. Well, that's like a normal fitting beanie, though. That's not like one of those floopy ones. You know, the ones that like
you're saying the
come up
big
and they have
floofy ones. Gotcha.
the
So if I have a
They got-
normal fitting one that's not a big floofy one, am I still just a normal person?
pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
Now,
you're
you'd
not a
have to be-
hipster unless you have the big floofy one.
It's a requirement. Now, the rest of you would have to be very hipster in order for that beanie to pass. Like you'd have to wear some sort of plaid. You have to look like you're not only drinking from a French press. You'd also have to look like you're cutting down a tree while reading poetry.
See, these are the true problems with the difference, between the rights that men and women have. See, women, all they need to do is have a ukulele. That's unfair.
This is true.
There's a lot of
Yeah, it
steps
does-
for us. I got plaid,
There are a lot of.
a beanie.
It's a lot.
I gotta start drinking weird espresso beans from a third world country, but I gotta say
Yeah.
that's good for the society. 'Cause I'm paying
Right.
them money, supporting them
Well, you have
somehow.
to do you have to do several things that are good for society.
That's a lot of stuff. You just buy a uke.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Come
Who
on.
wants to be good for society? Like, come on.
Buy a
I
uke and
wanna-
try to sing it in an Icelandic accent. I'm not a hater. I'm just calling it out.
It is what it is. It's a sad truth.
Sad truths. Fun facts and sad truths. Fun facts.
Fun fact. Now it's a
At least he
sad
looks
truth.
like a Java bean. Sad truth. You girls are just trying to mimic Icelandic accents like that guy in that TikTok said.
I don't think I've seen this one.
It's a good TikTok. He called out something that I've never thought about. So I've always said that certain female singers, they just have the uke girl voice. And I say it, and every time I say it, somebody goes, "Oh God, that's a thing, huh?" Billie Eilish has a uke girl voice. She's a uke girl that went on to make pop music. I like her music, don't get me wrong. She's a fucking uke girl. You can't call it anything else. That's what it is. Like, sorry.
It's a whole
I like her
brand.
stuff. She calls it that, in fact. I watched an interview where she literally called herself just a uke girl who made pop music. It's fucking...
That is
There's nothing wrong with
amazing.
it. Okay? But, that said, all of them, apparently, are trying to mimic Bjork. I mean, think about it. Bjork made, like, that one, like, album, basically. Had, like, 14 fucking hits that were all over the radio for, like, 3 years, right? And
yeah.
This nice, like, Icelandic accent that she has, that's what shined through, I think, through a lot of the art, too. And that's what this dude in this TikTok was saying. That's what every uke girl is trying to make, basically, is that same voice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to have to listen to Bjork.
Oh, it's hilarious, dude. It's hard to listen to now.
Yeah.
Knowing that that's what everybody is doing. Like, it's like...
I've heard one song by her, and I didn't get through all of it, but
Yeah.
it was really kind of off the wall. I don't know if it was a new song or what. It was very odd.
Not a fan. Not a fan, personally. Good music,
Yeah.
but not a fan.
Yeah. There's a difference between it being actually good and you liking it, or
Right.
me liking it, whatever.
Right, I can objectively say that I know that it's decent music. Like, it's not...
Right.
You know, there's verse, chorus, verse. People listen to it. They paid for it, so it's got to be pretty good.
There's something to it.
Someone somewhere loves it. It touched someone,
it's
inspired
scratching
someone.
Somebody's itch. Somebody's itch is being scratched by that song.
Yeah. Right. That's a good... Nathan's making a scratching, like a cat, a scratching post for anybody listening.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's like, oh right, it's a podcast too.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I
was
do
like,
it all
oh,
the
yeah.
time when we're just like, when I try to conceptualize something by showing you a shape, I have to describe it too. It's
Yeah,
very hard to do. It's very hard to like explain that at the same time. Yeah,
It is.
it's pretty
Question.
funny. What's up?
What Christmas movies do you like to watch?
Christmas movies? I don't. All right. You want to hear another sad truth?
Yes.
Maybe a fun fact? I don't
Yeah.
really get in the Christmas spirit. I'm not one
Really?
of those people. So, like, I'll watch a Christmas movie because my girlfriend likes to watch Christmas movies. Irma
Yeah.
really enjoys them, and so I will do it because she likes them. And I don't mind them, it's whatever, but it's just another fucking movie to me. It's just Christmas time.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're just watching movies, and it happens to be December. We're watching specific ones that only come around this time of year for whatever reason. But I can say, outside of that, every year I think we've ended up watching. What's the Tim Allen one?
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Yeah, we end up watching those, like those 3 or whatever there are.
Yeah.
We end up watching that. We end up watching Elf because that's a really good Christmas movie.
It's a real banger.
And outside of that, couldn't name another. Don't really care that much.
Really?
Yeah,
So
I don't.
funny.
I don't watch that many anyway. She ends up watching a lot of them. I'm not a huge fan. I know. I'm
There is
bah
something-
humbug. I guess I don't know what to fucking say. Put me on the spot. Wait till we do the Christmas Eve special. We get to really talk about those.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta think of good topics for that. I've
Yeah.
got one that I think will be a good thing. We'll get there.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a green screen and we're gonna put a Yule log in the background burning.
Yes, but it'll be like a giant log.
Like a
It'll be
giant fucking. I'll be in the fire, like the
Like
pits
we're in
of
the fire,
hell.
bah humbug my ass.
That's amazing. It's fucking outstanding. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
I think it'd be perfect. It's like a great way for a metal band to be in the spirit.
I am the Yule log.
For Thor.
Burn it for Thor. Burn the Yule log.
Have you seen those lighters that actually use like it looks like a little electrical?
I have one. Yeah, they're called the Atom Lighter.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I have one that's in there. It's I don't think I've ever taken it out of the package, to be honest with you. That'd be funny. I should go find it. Open it up and fucking watch me explode on camera. Lose a fucking hand in real time. But my mom got it for me like years ago as like a Christmas gift, and I just put it away because I stopped smoking cigarettes like 3 months before I got it.
I remember that. I remember when you quit cigarettes. I remember that. You were just like, that was it.
Done smoking these. Yeah, Scott was with me the day I quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We hung out and I smoked cigarettes all day with him. And right before I went to bed, I said, I'm not going to smoke any more cigarettes. And I didn't. I haven't smoked a cigarette since.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's fucking strange.
It's funny with you. It's like when you decide on something like that,
I'm done.
I feel like you specifically, it's done.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pretty hard-headed, turns out. When I set my mind to something, I can accomplish almost anything. So,
yeah.
Don't give me keys to the nukes.
Don't make it happen, people. Oh, God.
Because we're going to see what the moon's made of.
I know it's not cheese. They've been shitting us this whole time.
They've been bullshitting us this whole time. There's no damn way it's made of cheese. We'd have way more money, way more cheese.
We've been mining that shit years ago. You know, if it was made of cheese, it probably would stay preserved.
That'd be a fucking giant ball of fat. Do you think that'd stay preserved in space, or do you think it'd just fry itself?
Fry itself? How would it fry it?
Like cheese has like grease in it, right? It has oil and fat in it, right?
Yeah, but
outside in space is like unbelievably hot, isn't it?
I thought it was the other way. I thought it was unbelievably cold until you got too close to the sun.
Well, I mean, we are pretty close to the sun, so unfortunately, anywhere here you would be fucked. And we were talking about the moon, so.
But like, is it just hot, like kind of on the surface? Because I don't think it's too hot that the whole thing would just cook.
Oh no,
right?
It's hot as shit out there, right? Like if we can get to 140 on our equator with an atmosphere, it's got to be hot as hell out there, right?
Probably when it's on the side.
And we've got these
Earth
giant clouds and water cooling us and all this other nonsense.
Yeah. That's a good question. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah. I'm taking this from the idea that, like, Mars is pretty cold, but it's pretty far, right? And that's the difference. Ellie's coming to join us. Hello, Ellie! Welcome to Variety Hour!
Ellie, now we've got dogs and cats.
We got dogs and cats every week. We get an appearance from Ellie the dog. This week's Ellie appearance has come early. Became 30 minutes. Here at 28, actually, this week. We should start logging the times the cats come to cats and dogs come to bother us.
Yeah.
And see if they bother us at the same time every week. Because they're like, oh, I know what they're up to.
They are creatures of habit, after all.
They are, man.
More than
they are.
Yeah. All right, so Vernon, it turns out we're both right.
Yeah.
All right. So when sunlight hits the moon's surface, the temperature can reach 260 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh, so it was warm for Neil and
yeah. I mean, I guess that's part of the advantage of the spacesuit.
Yeah. That's interesting. So they had to be insulated from the sun while they were up there.
When the sun goes down, temperatures can dip to minus 280 degrees Fahrenheit. So it just goes back and forth.
So one half is cold and the other half is frying all day.
Yeah, or it's just turning and it just changes, which it would be frying and freezing and frying and freezing.
So we're roasting it. So we're slow cooking. We're rotisserie cooking the cheese.
We are.
If it were made of chicken, Scott would try to eat the whole thing.
Well, it's made of cheese, though, so we're good.
We don't have to worry about Scott, thankfully.
Yeah, but all the other white people on Earth would go after it, though.
That's true. That's true. White people do like cheese.
It's true, we do. Most of us.
All of us. What? Stop. Every single one of us. They all like cheese. If you're lactose intolerant, we know. We know. Because I am lactose intolerant. So is Scott. He likes cheese too. What?
Well, I was gonna say if cheese gets cooked and then freezes and then gets cooked again and then freezes, I mean, I think it would still be free of bacteria because there's not any bacteria that would survive, I would think. Or at least it wouldn't grow.
Tardigrades could survive, right?
They could survive. They could survive.
So you're gonna have an army of tardigrades all over that bitch.
Good. Are they safe to eat though? That's
wait. There's also some like steam vent, like underneath the oceans.
Oh yeah.
Those little microbial boys. They could be living there too. That could be bad for the cheese.
Yeah.
That could be bad for the big cheese, if you will.
The big cheese, yeah. I guess it's difficult to know for sure, like what kind of life forms we only know of a sliver of life forms, probably. There's probably a bunch of other life forms out there that live in extreme conditions besides the ones that we even know of.
I mean, if you believe in panspermia, we came from some life forms that just drifted here through space somehow.
Well, I've got to say, my main opinion about panspermia is that the name is hilarious.
It's great, and it means exactly what you think it does. Yeah.
Across the universe.
Panspermia.
Panspermia. Damn.
Spermia fucking pan everywhere.
Burn the pan.
Spermia in the pan. Oh no.
We had a conversation about that once.
We did. There's a whole podcast that I try to block from memory. I actually, when I go to edit that one up, I am definitely cutting that conversation for the sake of our rating on every platform.
That's probably wise.
As much as I would love to be NC-17 from this point forward.
God. Oh. Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, we got a tired Nathan. We got a sleepy Nathan this week.
Yeah. It's the scotch. It does that sometimes.
We also have an Ellie that wants to go out, but we can't do that, can we, Ellie? Here in the middle of the podcast.
No, not right now. She's gonna have to wait for another.
She has something to say about that, clearly.
Yeah.
Did you need to go out, man?
Well, I'll tell you what. I can talk about my opinion on panspermia while you go do that.
Please, sir. Be my guest.
All right. So, for all of the one viewers we've got right now, I think it's highly unlikely that there's not some kind of other life form out in the universe. It just makes perfect sense, just given the sheer size of the universe, which is for all intents and purposes infinity, that there's something else out there that's alive. It just makes sense. Now, whether it's a thing with which we can even communicate, that's a big question. Is it something that is even based on the same form of the carbon atom? That's a good question, because apparently that can manifest in a couple of different ways, according to Neil deGrasse Tyson. And our life forms are based off of a certain manifestation of carbon, based on some arrangement. There's some alternate arrangement of the atom or the molecule, whatever, that allows it to proliferate in some other kind of way. So it's like, who knows? This other alien species could be. What's that?
I said she's outside for a moment, but I can't leave her for long.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying how there's some other iteration of carbon that exists that could potentially like multiply and create a basis of life, theoretically.
Oh,
I saw this on yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of different formulas that technically work according to that computer that they ran a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, if there are alien species, who knows if like we even be able to recognize it as living organism? Like it could assimilate and bond with all kinds of different sort of elements and particles and things like all of different elements. and create organic life in some other utterly different way, if it's even considered organic at that point. So it could be questionable if we would even be able to recognize it as alien life. You know, the fact that we take it for granted that life is something that moves. We could see something that we see as just being inanimate, but actually it's alive based on this other carbon formation in some other kind of way. Like, will we even be able to recognize it as alien life?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, maybe that's what we're doing right now here on Earth. We're looking at inanimate objects and saying, that doesn't have life. But it clearly does.
Could be. There was a scientist, an Indian scientist, who, this was in the earlier half of the 1900s, who apparently did experiments that showed that inanimate objects, the matter that was in those inanimate objects behaved in the same way as organic cells, in terms of when they're, touched with some kind of stimuli. Like, he would use a prod and put it under a microscope and prod it, it would react in the same way that individual cells would. Now, I'm probably butchering the actual explanation of it, but maybe for next week. All right, that's what I'll do. Next week, I'm going to look up this scientist guy. Scientist, India. I was just talking about how this one scientist in India in the early 1900s did experiments that showed that inanimate matter behaved in a similar way as organic matter when it was stimulated in some kind of way, like it was prodded by a prod or something. That it like retracted in the same way that cells would.
That's scary.
Yeah. His whole point was that there's something underlying inanimate matter that's similar to organic matter, and that actually there's not as much separation between living and non-living stuff.
Very possible. Like I said, man.
Yeah. Well, you got a question. What exactly is it that gives things life?
I was kind of thinking that this morning, too, which is funny. All of these things that we're talking about right now weirdly came up at different intervals today. When I was starting up my computer this morning, I was kind of sweet-talking it, because I always do. I always sweet-talk computers in general. And I am a pretty good IT technician. At least I'm known as one. And I wonder how much that is literally from God to the machine, you know? Like, I wonder if that's like a weird, like, I'm talking to it and giving it some positive energy, and it's giving me some positive feedback, you know what I mean? Like, come on, I know you can do it. I believe in you. You're good at this. You're a computer. You're better at this than I am. Come on. Like, I've literally said these things to a computer, and I feel like maybe that's affected it in some way.
It could be. There is a fundamental link between our consciousness and awareness and the things that we interact with, in the sense that we have an active part in creating what goes on in our life. And I think that our conscious observation of stuff affects the stuff in the same way that, you see in the observer effect. That experiment that Vernon, I don't know if you can hear me, but the observer effect is something I just brought up because of what you just said. That our observation of something has a fundamental effect on the thing itself.
That's the quantum effect, right? That's the quantum.
Yeah.
Quantum
entanglement.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So
I always wonder how much that has to do with our everyday life, like in general.
Oh, I think that it has plenty to do with it. Yeah. Because it's like you see that when people have a shift in their mindset, their life totally changes, and it's not just for like practical and pragmatic type of reasons.
Right.
It seems like things come into their life when they shift their mindset that would never have come into their life anyway. And I don't know that it's just that they happen to notice it, or if it's actually causing those things to be drawn to them.
I've always wondered exactly that. I've always wondered how much of it is Deus Ex Machina, and how much of it is just coincidence, and how much of it is us just seeing implied causation.
Right.
It's all there. I mean, I really think that it's some percentage everything. You know what I mean? Like, I really think that it's some percentage. Like, it probably is most of the time just coincidence. You know what I mean? Most of the time, things probably have no correlation, and we're just seeing correlation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's probably those two make up more than 50% together. You know, either there is no correlation or we just are implying correlation. And then I think that maybe some other smaller percentage of it really is like, you know, the system giving us a little positive reinforcement that we're doing the right thing or we're going in the right direction. Or like,
right.
You know, this is the right choice. You've done the right thing. You've made the right call. Now you understand this better. You could do this now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That basically reality functions as like partly your creation.
Yes, it's the creating your own destiny, right? Creating your own reality, manifest reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, manifesting your own reality is something that a lot of those like big like life coaches always say, right? If you believe every day that you're going to grow up and be successful, you might grow up and be successful. You know what I mean? If you grow up every day being told you're going to be a fucking unsuccessful failure, well, you have two choices. You can believe that, or you can be in spite of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the fact that we have free will, which I think is a fact, a lot of people, there's a faction of people that, like, for some philosophical reason that's based in a materialist view of the world.
Yeah.
They say that there's no such thing. It's completely determinate. I don't think I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think I see their point, but...
That was Einstein's thing, too, right?
I don't know.
Didn't he believe in a deterministic reality? Wasn't his, like, whole, like, nah, this is all bullshit. This is all happening. We all believe, like, he believed that the whole world was on rails, basically. Because his belief of this was based on viewing observable light from distant galaxies, right? You could see this distant light, and it didn't mean anything, because whatever was going on there is already past, and you're seeing a distant amount of light, right? So he believed that meant that these... And I believe they had some other form of quantum entanglement that they were observing at the time, too, that we've now figured out better than at the time. But he believed at the time, as a result of this, in what they understood at the time, that he believed it to be a deterministic reality, I believe. I believe that's true.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that.
I know. I was kind of surprised by it when I'd read about it as well. That's why I remember it. I just remember reading it and being like, wow, really? That the guy who like came up with all this crazy shit believes that it's all determinate. So did he believe that it was all meant to happen? Like, that's the thing that fucked me up about it, right? When I read that, like, he believed that this had to happen, like, all of these discoveries that he made had to occur, and that he had to make the decision on that. You know, like, I don't know. It's just a weird... There's probably implications in that are moral and philosophical, too, that he had to deal with. You know? He probably had some shit there.
Yeah, he talked about God a good bit.
Right.
Especially later on in his life, you know, but not in, like, the standard in the church kind of way.
Right, it's more spiritual, right?
Yeah, it was more like there's something out there that is more than our materialist science can explain, and it's something deep and this, that, and the other. And it's like he was getting there, I think.
Right, man. Probably ahead of his time too, thinking like that.
Yeah, I think so.
He had been thrown into jail for being a Russian sympathizer.
Damn Russians.
Damn Russians. In other news, have you seen any of the stuff that's come out recently? Speaking of Russia and the Communist Party.
Oh God, no! But I want to know. Please tell me.
It's like 3 days ago. I read that there was a leak of 2 million names of political interest and companies in the U.S. Who are linked to the Chinese Communist Party in some way, shape, or form. Oh
God.
Yeah, super interesting. I'm not gonna say anything about that. I value my life.
Yep.
However, additionally, a large hack just happened today to the National Nuclear Security Administration. And they are not sure, and they have not determined how much information has been stolen. However, they did determine that it appears to have come from Russia. So, like a modern-day Cold War going on, I think. There's some...
That's scary.
Maybe the Cold War never ended. You know? Who knows?
I mean, it seems like they don't have our best interests in mind. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what. Got a good point there.
Yeah.
Surely doesn't, does it?
And I was reading an article about the Chinese Communist Party. Just about, like, the various ways that they could potentially
the subversion
wage war
and espionage and, yeah.
Yeah, like cyber warfare, economic warfare, and there's like some weird link between like COVID and the Chinese Communist Party that it's sketchy in some kind of way. It's just kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Like there's cover-ups and all this other stuff.
Yeah, there could be something to it. I don't know. I don't know what to believe at this point. You know what I mean? Like
It's hard to know. It's
got me worried, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's got me worried. Yeah.
I feel like there's some comment to be made about like the collective consciousness of people on Earth. Like there's some sort of weird thing going on east and west,
Right.
Something about shadow traits and qualities and
we're so much like them and I just don't think we understand. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I saw in a Carl Jung book that he compared it that way.
Yeah.
That like the East Russia, the Iron Curtain, essentially what it is like the repressed traits of American society that are like coming out in full force over in the East. With like tyrannical communist parties and
no, that makes sense. The stuff that we've managed to kind of keep in the shadows.
Yeah, the stuff that we totally do.
But it just literally is in the shadows.
Yeah, we're just not proud of it, and we're just like,
it doesn't happen. No.
Just pay attention to the donkey and the elephant. Yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Watch the donkey and watch the elephant. You may take the donkey to the top of the hill, or you may take the elephant. It is the same price.
What the hell is that?
It's a combination of the two things we were just talking about. So the donkey and the elephant, obviously Republicans and Democrats, but there's a Ron White joke. Yeah, it must have been Ron White. He had this joke back in the day that he would tell where he was in Hawaii and they were going up to the tops of volcanoes and looking in. And these big mountains, you can either walk up the hill, or you can take a donkey, or you can take a lift. And his joke here is there's a guy who's standing next to the lift with a donkey, and he's saying, you can take a donkey to the top of the hill, or you can take a lift. It is the same price. And Ron White, hearing this, he was like, I think we should take the lift. But his wife was like, no, we should take the donkey. And then the entire time they're riding up on this donkey, the only thing he could think was, man, if I was that guy who was that fucking donkey, that's about the only piece of information I'd keep away from everybody else. That's the same price,
God.
Yeah. It's just
now
funny.
I get it.
Yeah. What's that?
I said that's funny. I thought that was I was wondering if that was something that just like came straight from your head.
No, you just it's kind of a combination, a portmanteau of jokes, maybe. That's really what it is. Yeah, but it fits there pretty well, doesn't it? You can take the donkey or the elephant. It's the same price. It all leads to the same place. It's all the same price.
It's that's another fun fact. It's kind of a sad truth too.
It's kind of a sad truth at the same time. That's a fun fact, sad truth.
That is a fun, sad, facty truth.
It's a factual, fun, sad truth.
It's fun, factual, and sad, but it is the truth.
And we'll send that in a fax later. Amazing.
I guess.
In other news, we received a message from another artist that uses DistroKid as their distribution platform. Their name is Bokeh. I believe that's how you'd say it. I'm not sure. Haven't spoke to them personally yet. Their music is pretty sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and do my part here. We're just going to dump that in the chat. Check out their stuff on YouTube. That'd be cool. Their music's pretty sweet. Yeah, check them out. And while you're at it, go listen to our new single. Enjoy the show.
Hell yeah.
This is our fun little plug moment. We waited 45 minutes to do this to you. So, it's pretty nice, I would say.
Just music.
Yeah, you play the music. This is why we need our own little theme music. See what I'm saying? We were talking about making music earlier for the podcast. It would make sense.
It would make sense to do that. Yeah. Well, what kind of music would it be? Would it be a rock? Would it be
Yeah, why not? We can make it like a little like in the beginning of the podcast online. It is the beginning of, man, it's gonna be funny if anybody's listening to this and they're getting to this point, they're like, can't remember what the beginning of it is because he hasn't edited one in a while. Hear him go, he's sputtering out, he doesn't know what to do. It's Illusions.
Oh god.
The beginning of it's Illusions, and it's the hit right before we go into the solo, where it's the big and Scott going and the is where the title and the name show up. That's every podcast starts like that. Yeah.
That's badass.
Right? I thought it was good. So I made that because, out of a labor of love, I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I've used that in the beginning of every one so far. But it would be funny to have something like that for every podcast where we just begin and we have that. I'd probably have to end up editing it out when I do the actual podcast for the internet, when I restructure them and put them out again. But it'd be cool, right?
I like it. Right? We can make it like its own podcast music.
Yeah, just be.
I know it could be.
Oh man, I love doing that. That's an amazing thing to do live too. Every time I've done it, we get a good laugh out of people.
Yeah,
that's my favorite thing about it.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I started doing that from. I think that was just like us fucking around one day, right?
Yeah, but it sounds like it's from something. I
it's
don't know
a
what
horrible rendition of that one song, that one that everybody knows. That it's like that lounge music shit, right?
Yeah, it reminds me of like some opera or something.
Yeah, it's like an opera. Yeah. But it's hilarious to back it with lounge drums.
Yeah, which is also known as bossa nova.
Is that what that is?
That's actually what it's called. It's a Brazilian beat, and it's like a legit type of music. Except that here in America, it's just lounge music.
That's
all the time.
Great. That's amazing.
Lounge music, elevator music, like whatever.
That is the best. It's a good beat. It's fun.
It is.
It's fun to listen to.
And it's a culturally
We should record a version of that for our album.
Yeah. Oh, but what is that? I think they've used that tune for like a Bertolli commercial. Bertolli.
That's funny. I wonder what that is. We would have to say that it's a cover too. We might have to pay rights on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
I'm willing. I'll pay that out of pocket.
I'm gonna find out.
It's usually a one-time fee.
Bertolli.
And additionally, we broke 1,000 streams collectively on our songs on Spotify. So that means we're probably breaking more than 1,000 in various other places. But that's really cool in general. Spotify is a big deal for us. So thanks for listening if you're out there.
Hell yeah.
And mad props to our listeners in Novosibirsk, Russia. You fucking crazy bastards in the Snowland.
You animals.
Listening to us. Bears. Listening to us survive in the fucking winter tundra. We got a little bit of snow compared to you guys.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I shoveled today, and my back is like an old man's back.
I'm hurt. I need to buy a polar bear to do this job for me.
Absolutely. What is this YouTube link that's suddenly up on the comment section?
That's the one that I threw up from that guy. The one that I showed you earlier.
Oh, nice. That's right. Yeah, I was worried because I pulled up the Bertolli commercial just now on YouTube.
You could send that too if you want.
No.
Fuck it.
Well, I don't know if it's the right tune. I don't want to play it and get us in trouble.
Yeah, you can't play it for sure. Yeah, you have to figure that out later.
Can't play it. No. I'd have to mute you.
I wonder if I could Siri it. You think Siri will be able to do it?
Maybe.
All right, here. Let's do this. Let's turn on the sound. We'll get a good.
Oh, you want me to sing it?
Here's what I found.
I know. She didn't get it.
She didn't get it. She got dumb.
She did. She tried. No, she got a bunch of W's too. That's the thing. She tried really hard though.
She did. Yeah. Thank you, Siri, for trying.
It was a good try.
You tried your hardest.
She didn't try your bestest. Don't give her that. That's not fair.
No, she didn't.
No, she's up for a performance review too. I think we should let her go.
Oh god, yeah. Ooh,
rough man. Job market's tough, but what are you gonna do?
Ever since Steve Jobs died, she just hasn't been the same.
She hasn't. No. Yeah. No. I appreciate that they've used the same voice actress since the beginning, though. This is kind of interesting, right? Have the same girl come in and do every iteration of the series voice along the way. It's gotten really lifelike too.
Yeah. Did they just have it like programmed and they just kind of redo it every now and again?
Well, they have her come in and they do new voice samples to make the voice samples that she can pick from more plethorous, for one, and two, some of them are more natural, so they get rid of old ones.
Oh.
So like they used to basically a lot of their old stuff used to be them taking individual words and trying to piece it together, and then they realized that people have different inflections on words depending on what they're saying, and so that doesn't really work that well. And so they've decided instead to have her start doing phrases, like common phrases, and phrases that would be in the program. But then that made it so that there was only a scripted few things that she could say that sounded like normal, and all the other stuff was still like kind of botched together. But then they started figuring out that you could have humans do takes in every inflection. So they figured out all the inflections with like linguistic coaches and shit. And they've had her do all of the different inflections for like a bunch of different words, like thousands, hundreds of thousands of different words. So they can just pick from all these different words and all these different inflections and programmatically make algorithmic sayings and phrases that Siri can almost talk to you in just a normal voice now. Yeah. Google has also done the same thing, but they did it engineering YouTube.
I'd imagine they would have to do that for any kind of voice service. Yeah. For like listening or for like having a computerized voice or anything.
Yeah. Pretty much anytime you have to do that, diction, it's voice diction, and return diction where it's speaking back to you. Yeah,
that's like, God, that's insane. That's one of those behind the scenes things that you just never think about. You're like, oh yes, they have the technology to do that, but then you don't think about how to actually do it.
Right. You almost never need to think about it. Yeah. It's almost unnecessary. But it's like when you do know, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, that sounds really tedious. I figured we had better technology than that, but it just sounds like
that is the
hard way, the way I would have imagined they have to do it.
That is the better technology.
That's it is.
Yeah, and like I said, Google basically did the same thing, but I imagine that they did theirs and derived theirs from YouTube because they expressly own the rights to use your stuff that you upload on YouTube for pretty much any game. They can do whatever they want. That's the fun platform of YouTube, is that it's all free for you to upload whatever you want with it, but they can just do whatever they want. They can analyze it anyway. They can't put it back out and recopyright it or anything like that, but they can do whatever they want. Yeah.
Which is another uncomfortable thought.
Yeah, so that means they probably algorithmically have like Scott's voice out there. Maybe my voice, but me screaming. Ooh, all the time.
Whoa. They have me too, maybe, if they want me.
They might.
I don't think they would want me.
Maybe they want you. They caught you in the background while you're talking while drumming. We got his voice. We got him, boys.
We got him.
Enhance.
The magic enhance button. Yeah. It enhances everything, no matter what. But sir, it's only 1080p. Enhance it. Holy shit.
Enhance it again. Oh god, it's 8K. Enhance it again. It's 16K. This isn't even possible, sir. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
We don't even have this technology yet.
You'd have the most epic contract at Best Buy.
Yeah, it zooms out. It's a fucking Geek Squad.
It was all us all along. Enhance.
We could enhance everything, even our services, but we won't. He's got a weird email. Okay, well, that's scary.
Oh, that's awkward.
I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, God.
I hate that. Why am I getting
so this? I might be getting a pair of Tablas.
Yeah,
told you that earlier. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Except,
Hang on 1 second.
I don't think this person wants to meet me halfway. I'm a little sad about it.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Don't need to see what's behind my bag.
All right.
No, I just I can't. So we're on Facebook Live, and I cannot show a firearm on Facebook Live, or any sort of dangerous weapon on Facebook Live. Otherwise, you risk the risk of getting your live stream taken down. And so I choose not to show any of the weapons, but I just got a weird text message from a Gmail account. Never had that before. That's weird. And so I quickly went and got a dangerous weapon and put it near me because fuck that.
I mean, it could just be a spam thing from like a Google Voice number. Like I have a Google Voice account.
Could be, but we were just talking about Google.
And
it was like a weird. It's like code. It's like weird. Like I don't. T3IF4JC5.T5U1K4.world question mark 4YF question mark 5VG5 equals Y in FKF. It's just a bunch of code. I don't know what the hell that is. Probably just spam. But it makes me uncomfortable because I've been in the tech world long enough. Yeah, it's just me being me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I would feel uncomfortable if I got something like that too.
It's weird. Like, you know what I mean? It's weird to get at 9 o'clock at night, drinking a little bit.
Yeah.
Being a little vulnerable.
Yeah. It's like getting caught with your pants down, metaphorically.
Sure is. You never want that.
Literally. Yeah. No. I always imagine that. Like, if someone broke into my house, I would not want them to do it while I'm taking a dump.
Yeah. No, that would suck.
You know?
Yeah.
That would suck.
That would suck.
Then I have to get up. It'd be real, like, uncomfortable.
I tend to, like, even when I'm home, I tend to keep some sort of weapon nearby, like, at all times.
Yeah.
I have a lot of anxiety about, like, being attacked like that.
Yeah.
Really freaks me out, man. I also, like, in general, you think about it, like, we are, in fact, in some way, small way, public figures.
This is true.
It's, you know, there could be fucking nutcases out there. You know,
this is true.
Always
now, if I was going to be paranoid, which I do occasionally get paranoid around.
And here,
I am. I hear a sound and I'm just like, oh, what was that? What was that?
Yeah, you gotta get a dog, man.
I know, and I I keep looking out the window, or I can look out the front, and be like, is there anyone there? No, there's no one there. Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. Just relax.
Right.
Hear a sound. What was that?
Yep.
It's worse now that I'm here like by myself with just the cats. Because I know they're not going to do shit to help me.
Right. They'll watch, and then when you're dead, they'll eat your face.
Yep. I love them, but they're not going to help me out very much.
Nope.
So, yeah.
They're just going to be like, man, sucks he died, huh? He was good at putting food in the bowl.
Yeah. I really like it.
We get a giant food to eat.
Yeah. I guess they would survive for a little. I would feel really bad because they're all indoor cats and they don't really have a way to get out. So
yeah, they'd be eating you and then each other.
Yeah, hopefully someone would like figure out that I'm dead by then.
Yeah, probably your work, right? That's what I've always said, right? My work would figure it out before anybody.
Usually, well, you know, I don't know. Yeah, probably my coworkers would be like, "Where's Nate?
Why didn't you show up? What the fuck?" And then they'd be calling you, you're not answering. They're like, "That's fucking strange." Eventually, somebody'd be like, "I'm gonna drive by his house, make sure he's okay." Then when you don't answer there, but they see your car's there, it's gonna be like, "Okay, well that's weird." Then they call the cops, and it becomes a thing because it's been more than 24 hours. That's the way I've always done the math on how long it would take for somebody to figure out where I was. Like now, because I'm living with somebody, if I was gone, she knows immediately. Like that's the first person she'd be reporting. She'd know, like, hey, he's gone. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Text messages, because I constantly text people, constantly in contact with people. My last contact, my last location. I have location services turned on my phone and shit.
Yeah,
I'm paranoid, man.
Yep,
paranoid.
You think about all this stuff.
I ain't getting taken out, bro. Not like that. Not like this. Not in this wild, wacky, weird fucking world.
Right. Well, when I start feeling paranoid, I have to remind myself that, like, I'm really just living a quiet lifestyle.
Yeah.
Here in my own house, doing my own thing. Like, I'm not bothering anybody doing anything.
Yeah, you're good.
Like, I'm not even being loud.
Ain't nobody fucking with you. Yeah.
No one's. Yeah, and you're probably very much in the same situation.
More or less.
Like, yeah, it's like
I'm a little noisy. I also have like a military background and probably some enemies, you know. So it's
there's that.
I also keep that in mind a lot of the time. Like if I ever have a house that's, you know, my own and outside of, you know, where I'm living now, which is more or less a gated community, I really honestly I'll probably be more like, scrutinizing about the security of the home. I'll be more scrutinizing about having weapons to defend myself with. Like I don't own a firearm at this point. You know what I mean? But I own several dangerous weapons. So
Right.
I use those to defend the home because I, live where I live, and I can't, really rightly feel like I could use something like that anyway without fucking a travesty happening to me. Not about to pop off on somebody else and get shot.
No.
I generally consider that sort of thing as a result.
Fair
Gotta
enough.
keep it in mind. Yeah, gotta keep it in mind. You never know.
I guess so.
Yeah, the other thing too is like I appreciate that you're a non-paranoid individual because I don't have that. I read statistics and statistics freak me the fuck out.
Yep, they can do that.
Yep.
It's like if anytime you have an anxiety about something, you can always find evidence for it.
Yeah.
You can always justify it. And
Yeah.
That's something I figured out is like no matter what I'm afraid of, I can find some reason to be afraid of it. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is.
Right.
There's always a reason. That means you can take it the other way and be like, well, how many things am I freaking myself out about that I can find reasons, but actually it's not a problem in reality.
Right. Yeah, I always just try to remind myself when I hear like noises at night, I'm like all the windows downstairs are locked, all the doors are locked. If somebody wanted to get in, the bare minimum would be to break glass.
Right, which you definitely
which would
hear.
be so fucking loud. That'd be so unbelievable. Like that's like a brick through a window and shit. That's so fucking loud to break glass like that. Nobody's coming up to my house with like one of those glass cutters and cutting their way in. That's fucking unrealistic as shit. That's not happening. If they're doing that, this is an operation, and I'm getting taken the fuck out one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
if
that's
that
happening,
serious, you're fucked.
it's a totally different type of world. I'm not in a fight. I'm in a run for my life.
Yep. Yeah, and like for my part, the most I have to worry about would be like petty thieves.
Petty
and they're
thieves
generally
are like the occasional home invader, right? Like that's still a thing there.
Yeah. Exactly. Like most I have to worry about is them rifling through my car, and if they were going to break into my house, they would do it while I'm gone. Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely.
And as long as you keep your shit locked, it's like, how much shit are they going to be able to get into? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
All the windows are locked downstairs. Your garage is locked up. Your door to your garage is locked up. Your your front door is bolted. Your back door is bolted. Like you're good. There's nothing to worry about. Like that's what I always consider. I'm just like, even if something happened, how far are they going to make it? Like they're going to try and kick their way in. All right, well, if they make it past that, then how are they going to make it? You know what I mean? What am I going to hear there? Yeah, it's a tangible thing that I think about just because of the nature of the beast of having lived that life.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, even as someone who has not lived that life, I still think about that too. I'm like, if someone did break into my house, well, I have this machete right here.
Yeah. I am still armed. Yeah.
I have something.
Yeah.
So I do have a machete actually in my, I have that as like a defense mechanism.
I actually went through the process of getting a background check and I got a taser. So.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a full, certified, civilian use police style taser.
I was with you when you first were looking into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was first Googling it and trying to figure out what it was all like. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were surprisingly affordable. I got one for $280 for Black Friday. They're normally like $360 or something like that. So not a bad deal for one, but two, it's a fucking awesome device. It immediately we received it after I did my background check. Yeah, we received the email saying it was on its way. It arrived. I got its holster. I put it in its holster. I put it near the front door, and we both felt significantly safer in general.
Nice.
Completely, 100%. We were just like, man, the world feels a little less dangerous to us because we have something in the house that we feel like we could use to either make somebody go away if we had to, or to actually use to defend ourselves at a minimum. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking scary too. You can activate it as a regular stun gun without a taser charge in it. That bitch is fucking scary. It has the crackle of electricity. It's so loud. It's like it's so fucking loud.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, you don't have to worry because if you hit the guy with that, he's done.
They're down for the count. It's crazy.
Yeah. And if they're up for the count after that, you're done.
I hope I can figure it out.
Yep.
If they're up for the count after that, I hope I have a solution. My fellow Americans. I will have to come up with something else for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
Are we at an hour? I feel like we've been at it an hour.
We've been at it for an hour and 10 minutes almost now. We can wrap up now.
Oh, wow.
If you like. Feeling good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you sure
that was
can.
good.
It's
We,
whatever, man.
We thank you all for listening to us. Whoever's out there, we love you so much.
We love you.
We really do.
Lots of love.
Yeah. And if you're listening from Russia, we love you even more for some reason. You get a little extra
From Russia
love.
with love.
Actually, hang on. No. Russia got a lot of love last week. Peru gets love this week because we have listeners in Peru.
Really?
Yeah. International out here.
Man.
Yeah, we're international as fuck. And we're diverse. So thank you, Peru.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Peru.
I could go down the list. It's fucking awesome. I actually really enjoy looking at the list of places that people are living. It's fucking sweet. So if you're listening in general, we love you. But if you're in Peru, we love you a lot.
Especially this week, we love you a lot.
This week, we love you a lot.
A lot.
That'll be a new thing. We've been Once Revealed. You've been great. Thank you all for being so well dressed. And join us next week where we give lots of love to the Martian people on Mars.
Beautiful.